Ladies and gentlemen, on the cusp of reaching match point, Team Liquid Academy have advanced now to Game 4, where they are one game away of taking the Proving Grounds title.
It has been a crazy series. Game 1, smash, as the desk said. Game 3, smash, as the desk said. Game 2, we saw 100 Thieves drag it out a lot better, and they had the scaling composition, but the adaptations from Team Liquid have blown it out of the water.
The way that Team Liquid has played games 1 and 3, we knew that they were going to be a tough out. I had them as my tournament favorites, but the way that this team has been able to come together with that week off, using the scouting, the extra tape they got on 100 Thieves, I give them a lot of credit. I think the early game plans they've had, it's been well-researched, it's been well-executed, and 100 Thieves haven't thrown them enough curveballs to really get them off their high horse and try and get the series back in their favor.
Team Liquid horses.
The big question for this series was, you have Team Liquid, who are basically on a week break. Yes, they're keeping themselves busy with scrims and practice, but it's not stage practice, right? Whereas 100 Thieves, they've been revving and amping up, and we thought that that would give them an edge going into this series. I know a lot of us still had Team Liquid favorite, but after the game 2, it's like, okay, they're bouncing back. That's usually a time when the teams before would boom or collapse, or teams would be on even footing. But Team Liquid showing the resolve to stay true to their course to winning this title has remained undeterred.
And I feel like we had that conversation before with Wixie, right? Where he said, yeah, I freaking love, or it was Busio, I love being on stage. I love having the opportunity to play here and build up that momentum. But I feel like we're seeing the reverse side of that coin. 100 Thieves has showed us what they've been trying to do this entire time. They don't have the same kind of time to just dedicate their prep to one team.
And Team Liquid, I think we have to really credit them with the adaptation they made after dropping game 2. What really defined that, blinding the gangplank, taking the LeBlanc for Harry, and the individual dominance from top to bottom. Team Liquid, it was all them that game. One turret away from a perfect game. We credited Team Liquid a lot. That game 2 back and forth series, they had the mental endurance to recover, to bounce back, put up a game 3 like that. We'll see how 100 Thieves can respond now.
And look at this. The gangplank was taken away, but in order for you to give that up, you let the Ahri go through.
And Harry's Ahri, 7 plays in Proving Grounds out of the 11 games they had coming into this series. It's been 6-1 in those games. It's been so good. But the instant response from 100 Thieves of the LeBlanc's up.
And we said we saw this matchup throughout this week over and over. It is incredibly exciting to watch, but we also have 2 of our best LeBlanc players on stage right now. Jimian showcased what the LeBlanc can do in the matchup. Pretty got the best of him game 1, but in game 2, it was all Jimian.
And now the story for this matchup goes, when you have an Ahri LeBlanc, a matchup that is so volatile, it comes down to the junglers. We were prefacing that this series was going to be so dependent on the 2v2 between Kenvi Jimian versus Armeo and Harry. How do you support this Ahri? How do you support this LeBlanc as either jungler?
I'm actually really curious what Team Liquid does here, because do you blind Ayla, or do you just take, you blind Armeo, and it's going to be the Trundle again, so you got to believe that can't be a Viego for the side of Kenvi. I know the answer that he prefers, and the champion that they banned away in that last one, it was Kenvi's Kindred.
Yeah.
Do we potentially see that here, as it is the hover?
The adaptations are starting to come through. I do like the Kindred, right? You just hop over the pillar, but it's something that they've had a lot of success with and has so much burst.
Yeah, it's the lock-in. Now, part of the reason that I thought this would come out is that one of the things that's been really important in this series, I think it's been support counterpick. The Bard for Ayla has really helped them get ahead bot lane. His Renata last game was fantastic, and I think 100 Thieves realizing that, on red side, oftentimes they will give Busio that 5th pick. I think they're going to save support for last. Then again, that Renata ban, that tells me they might just slam TK. I expect Team Liquid to at least take the Tom Kench off the table.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at, right? You forced the Tom Kench ban coming out from Team Liquid. It has been one of his most played. It's been Rakan and Tom Kench for a majority of Proving Grounds.
But do you just ban it second? Because if you buy a Bard ban as well, I mean, you could
That's
wait.
True.
So we'll see.
There's lots of play coming through here. The mind games are available. The Tom Kench comes through right away. And that says to me that there's something they're a little bit worried about. Maybe they want to give a better matchup to Bradley up in the top lane.
This is tough. 100 Thieves now. More than likely, we would see the Bard answer, as it caused so much problems for Team for 100 Thieves Academy and being able to lock him down, but the Bard goes through because they're trying to set up something that Akali would be able to punish in the top lane.
I think it's Gnar again, potentially.
It looks like a Gnar.
That could be the pick, but I'm actually really curious to see what 100 Thieves does. I think they have a big decision to make. Do you blind Gamsu, or do you blind Busio?
I want to
get the Renekton.
I want to give Busio the counter pick, right? He has more unique one-ofs in terms of his play in Proving Grounds. You have a lot of potential counter pick, and Gamsu is very stable. It's very rare that he's going to blow Bradley out of the water.
That Renekton ban also, it means that I think if they were expecting something like an Ornn, or it could open up a blind Camille. That was Gamsu's answer into Camille yesterday. That could be a pick for Bradley. He team fights on the champion very well.
Nautilus being secured means that Gamsu is going to get his counter pick of choice.
Really good on this
Team
area.
Liquid. Let's look at what they have already. They have ways to find
bomb.
picks, but you do need either more powerful forms of
Neo,
disengage
yeah.
or ways to go forward. The Solar Flare from Leona allows you to now lock down, and paired alongside Hextech Ultimatum, Wixie has to be careful alongside Kemvi.
Ooh, Shen is
expecting
very
Gnar.
good. I kind of expect Gnar as well, but the Shen coming through for Gamsu. It is his first time playing it this season. Forget Proving Grounds, it was not played in Academy either, and this is such a strong matchup, but we haven't seen him play it in such a long time, and it's going to put so much pressure onto Kemvi.
The other big thing, too, is that this is a shift of priority of where 100 Thieves want to play and empower. When you have Shen, you pair it alongside aggressive junglers, aggressive playmakers with the Stand United to go forward and look for plays. Kemvi wants to get aggressive. Now he's going to have the assistance of Gamsu.
I think it sticks to the identity we've seen from 100 Thieves because it's about attacking bot. You have the global to go
Bring all
help
five.
the Nautilus, bring the Jinx. You can bring 5, and also it really enables Jimmy and on this LeBlanc to play forward. And something I'm really looking out for early, mid-jungle duo. It was so big last game. Armeo helping Harry get ahead. Harry sprinted with that lead, but I see LeBlanc into Ahri. The one opportunity I have to really punish that matchup, it's before 6. If a chain connects and you get the jungler to come to the lane, that's where you can put a lot of pressure down on the Ahri. I want to see if 100 Thieves go for that play.
And the big thing, too, is that Busio is on someone like Nautilus. That's so easy to come if you have a 3-man gank for the mid lane.
Yeah, and we know Kemvi on this Kindred, he loves going for super aggressive routes. He loves using the early burst that comes with the E. If you lock down Harry, you prevent him from popping off. This is definitely a game that 100 Thieves can look to snowball, and we will have to see if Team Liquid's preparation is going to be enough to overcome the early power.
This is game 4, match point for Team Liquid Academy. But if 100 Thieves Academy are able to bounce back with this new look, this would bring us the full distance.
And it's a tough ask for 100 Thieves again. Our top dogs, how dominant they've been in games 1 and 3. We expected a big swap, a big switch up of strats coming out from 100 Thieves Academy. They've done so. We'll just have to see if it is the correct decision, if they can take us to that game 5 in our PG finals. Keep in mind, it was a game 5 last year between these two teams, but Team Liquid, they are built different this year and looking to end it early.
Yeah, it was a best of 15 last year between
True.
these two teams. 3
Very
best
true.
of 5s over the course of Proving Grounds and playoffs. But I like this adaptation coming through from 100 Thieves right now. They're making sure Kemvi doesn't get spotted early on in the game. And Team Liquid, for what I think the first time, will not know exactly where Kemvi's starting.
Not quite exactly. The Wolf start last game, even though that it shrouded Kemvi on where his path was, they also were able to thwart it because when he tried to gank Bradley in the top side off of a 2-camp gank, it got stopped.
And it's mirrored clears early. And when you are Kindred, something I really like, especially when you're in a matchup where you can invade, it's getting level 3 and going to the enemy team side of the jungle with the LeBlanc, with the Shen. I think that both solo lanes might have priority, might be able to help Kemvi with that invade if that is the choice.
So it's going to depend on what Armeo wants to do. There's definitely plenty of push. Armeo can choose to try and force a vertical jungle up against 100 Thieves, and that could create a lot of pressure bot.
And one of the big timers you have to talk about whenever there is a Kindred in the game is that first mark on the crab that comes up at 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the game.
The coin flip.
Yeah, watch for where Kemvi pass towards and which lanes are able to build enough priority to roam over to secure that first mark, because it can help get that snowball going.
I don't want to over-focus on the marks. I know Twitch chat loves counting them. I know it's going to be getting the extra range, but Kindred either is in range or kind of isn't. It tends to be a situation where there's not a lot of really long-range tools coming out from Team Liquid, and I feel like Kindred's going to be able to get in, do that damage regardless of how many marks she has.
Something important to note, Jimmy just dropped the board, sees the Raptors down, so Kenvi should be able
Nice
to
hook.
predict that Armeo can be on that side of the map.
A lot of damage. Busio and Wixie do get about half of Yon's health in that trade, and that's going to help in order to gain that priority for the next minute while Kenvi is roaming down.
And Kenvi, not only roaming down, but roaming to attack, roaming to dive the bottom lane. We set up the early mid-jungle duo. Kenvi, utilizing the W, will be able to hop. He will be spotted, but 100 Thieves want this dive.
Armeo is booking it to try and make sure that they can protect the dive, but Busio pressing the acceleration gas forward. It's a teleport coming out from Bradley, trying to see if he can return it, but the first blood actually goes over to Team Liquid, and it's 100 Thieves that are in shambles as the dive was rushed. They wanted to set the pace in their own right, but it's Team Liquid that punishes once again.
The flash from Yon was so good. As we take a second look at this dive, he positioned himself over the turret, so Busio could not follow with the dredge line, and because the CC chain was not clean, Team Liquid Academy, they turn it around.
I love the play that comes through from Bradley as well. The communication is clearly here, and this is something you gotta pay attention to with these kinds of early plays. Yeah, as the flash comes through, there's no follow-up, but Camille, as soon as they recognize that play is happening, comes down bottom lane, able to force 100 Thieves back, and by getting this extra kill, it means that Yon dying doesn't matter. This Kindred is not snowballing. It is, in fact, Team Liquid's bottom lane that is now going to snowball this game.
And the big thing, too, there, you were talking about communication with Team Liquid is so good. Bradley initially went for the recall, but you could hear in the comms probably saying, no, you need to TP now. You need to come now. That we will turn this around, and it'll be a huge advantage for us.
One positive thing for 100 Thieves, the coin flip. Kenvi has the mark.
True.
He at least got one.
Wait, what is this? Oh, there's another kill that we didn't even see.
Oh my goodness. Dredge line?
Okay, no kills, no
okay.
kills.
Really nice.
Good reaction time coming out from Harry, making sure he dodges out from the dredge line. It is really important to note that this mid lane matchup has not been decided, but after we get to level 6, it does get easier for Harry's side.
Now, there's a big window here, though, for Kenvi, Busio, and Jimian. Jimian has flash advantage over Harry because Busio was able to trade it just using Hex Flash over the wall. If you can get this wave pushed in on the bottom side of the map, look for a mid-roam. Kenvi is also circling around the top side of the map. You can get Harry before he hits level 6.
Maybe. That's a tough window, as I think Harry, he's going to hit 6 pretty soon here. Not this wave, but the next. You can see Jimmy behind on the experience.
Nice charm.
Really well played. That's a tower shot, too.
Oh.
Nice charm coming through. This is one of the reasons why it's such a skill matchup. It's all about landing the charms. Abusio wants to repeat his potential gank. All right.
It's just too difficult to ask. I mean,
yeah.
There's the potential for it.
So safe.
That's what the play wants to be, right? But Harry is outplaying the matchup so far, gaining the health advantage over it. Even if Busio and Kenvi come, it's going to be so difficult. Harry is still only level 5, so no Spirit Rush available. But now Busio is being called over just to push in the wave.
Yeah, he just has to come to hover because it is the cannon wave. So Harry, he would ding 6 after the cannon. That cannot be allowed, so Busio has to escort that. You can see Harry just hit 6. Jimmy needs the reset, so that also takes away the window they could have used to crash the wave and even take the dragon because of the Busio hover. Small stuff from Team Liquid, but really good team play coming out of that.
And this is where we're going to have to look at the reset. There are no cams left for Armeo to pick up. We're seeing a good reset come through from Yon. They're all going to be back and forth on the map right as the dragon spawns, and they've gotten so much control of the neutral objectives over the last 2 games. Would not be surprised if they instantly want to try it.
And you can see both Harry and Armeo.
Oh, wow.
It is spotted on the control ward as Bradley.
Okay, Tom into the tower. Thankfully gets the shield up, tanks up all that damage from the tower. But so far, Team Liquid in sound control as we are about a minute and a half away from the Rift Herald. The Dragon has not been started up by either team so far.
I think one of the other big differences of this game, I like the scaling for Team Liquid. Every game we've had, it's been 100 Thieves. Hey, if this goes late, we have Ornn, we have Jinx, Tahm Kench. we're good to go.
Okay,
This
here's the
time
fight,
around,
here's the fight.
That's not the case, as 100 Thieves are pulling the Dragon, but TL, they're here. Watch Harry.
Hayla already linking down. Jan is onto the right side
Reset.
flank. They're just pinchering on in, but the Stand United shield comes through, gives a little bit of reassurance over to 100 Thieves to be able to trade 1-for-1.
Oh,
Team Liquid still has
Harry.
Spirit Rush, 2 more charges here. That's a lot of damage out onto 100 Thieves, but Kenvi, despite not being level 6, still taking his chances for this Dragon. Armeo has the Blast Cone available if he wants to get over the wall. 1,000 HP. They have a ward over the wall, but they cannot secure it.
We've seen this by 100 Thieves in the past, right? 100 Thieves have gotten early dragons, but they're not able to escape from it. Team Liquid, they aren't respecting the Stand United. It does become a 1-for-1.
I mean, the big thing here is, yeah, it's a 1-for-1. Yeah, 100 Thieves get the Dragon, but look at all the power that Bradley's now going to have in this matchup. Already has a plate, already has an experience advantage and gold in his pockets over Gamsu. We do expect this with the Shen, but Bradley on this Camille is going to be a huge part for Team Liquid trying to snowball this game forward, and he does have an early lead.
One of the things we've been seeing previously, right, is that the Ornn is really effective at making sure that the Jace cannot super split push later in the game. It's so hard to kill him after the Frozen Heart comes through, but this time, Bradley does eventually win this matchup. The Camille will out damage the Shen later on, and it's a matter of time before Bradley takes control of one of these side lanes. So 100 Thieves, like you said, they're on the timer. They got to get things going. The first Dragon is nice, but being down 1,000 gold is not worth it.
Rift Herald is now available. Team Liquid already getting their pieces ready to move on over in full force. Ayla, having pushed out the lane with Jan, can now walk on over, check for vision control, sweep through, give Harry the hover before rotating all their numbers towards the Rift Herald.
And because of the wave setups, because the solo lane, at least in the top side, is ahead, Ayla is ahead of this play as well. Busio will be spotted crossing top, but I think this is yet another Rift Herald where 100 Thieves cannot respond. And again, Team Liquid, first 3 towers, they are #1 in this tournament. Herald control rate, it was 82% coming into today. They are first in the tournament. And again, Team Liquid relying on what got them here, what got them to the Grand Finals, fast track through Winners Finals to take down 100 Thieves in this game 4. That's first Rift Herald in Armeo's pockets.
Yeah, and I kind of want to credit Ayla a lot for that, right? Understanding his roam timers, when he is able to come top and when he's able to manufacture those situations. He's a player that I feel like we haven't looked at their history a whole lot because he hasn't been playing League of Legends for as long as as long as a lot of the other players. Like, he started in the Oceanic Challenger Series. He had some good performances, consistently top 4 when he actually made OPL and later LCO. And ever since he came here, he's just had success after success.
Been so close to a Proving Grounds title, but never quite in reach to actually claim it for themselves. Remember, this was a matchup last summer where they went the full distance, a reverse sweep from 100 Thieves Academy that took away that title from Team Liquid, but now they are the ones that are setting up the pieces. They are the ones that are on match point.
Look bot, Kenvi, he will be spotted by the control wards.
Black
Whoa.
red line onto Jan. The Chompers don't quite lock him down, but the Super Mega Death Rocket is going to be enough. The Ignite takes him out. Ayla still on the run. He has Flash, but can he flash away from the Death Charge? He knows he's not getting out of that one. 100 Thieves still clinging on.
Huge, much-needed play from the rookie support, Busio, as he finds the X-Marksman from 100 Thieves next in Jan. They take down the Zeri, and this was much needed for 100 Thieves. If this game continues, that Herald, TL are able to play out that slow mid-game that they've been crushing 100 Thieves with, this game, this series could be done and dusted, but Busio, he breaks that with this play.
And it's so good from 100 Thieves bottom lane. We're consistently seeing the Chompers come through, but a fight.
Okay, Busio looking for the Chicken, not quite. He wanted to look for Team Liquid, but Jimmy In has damage from the Distortion. Heal comes out. Armeo's able to slink on up thanks to the HP, and now Team Liquid are able to deter another skirmish from happening.
I feel like we've been talking about this bottom lane for Jan and Ayla as though it is completely untouchable. And while it has been our best bot lane throughout Proving Grounds and the Academy season, Wixie and Busio as these rookies, they're stepping up. They're consistently finding even lane states up against a team that we were kind of expecting to smash them. And even with some of these counter picks, Jan and Ayla aren't getting super large CS leads.
well, it might not be a huge CS lead, but it is going to be some points going
Yeah,
over.
Team Liquid is still playing to them. They still look good.
Armeo throwing down, showing down here
Envy.
again.
Whoa.
Is Kenvy.
This is an aggressive play, but it's the Stand United. It's the Shen delivery system. If he can land the taunt onto Yon, he is good as gone. Wixie is here pressing forward. Harry's going to make his mark here, but can they clean up the kills here? They found Armeo. Bradley's also here to make the reinforcements here. Lance Respite is going to be huge. Ooh, look at the backline. Kenvy still staying alive. He's flashing over the wall. He stays alive. 100 Thieves Academy wants to bring this to a full 5-game series. Wixie popping off with the triple kill.
And it's a clean ace for 100 Thieves as they take that mid-game that Team Liquid has beat them with games 1 and 3. They throw it out the window with the globals as this proactive play from Gamsu and Kenvy, the ex-champion from Proving Grounds, it is huge.
We needed to see Kenvy make these kind of plays. We said he needed to get the game into a position that was comfortable, and this ultimate from him saves this fight. The fact that he is so low, the fact that the rest of Team Liquid have no HP bars after it comes through, 100 Thieves decimates the fight and sets up Liquid for a perfect reset.
And that flash is so damn good from Kenvy, saves him from going down, prevents and denies any other trade going back into Team Liquid's favor. We thought that Team Liquid were on already that road towards a very smooth mid-game, getting ready to scale into their own right. 100 Thieves have now put a full break on that.
And going into this game, I mean, you teased, Josh, what you wanted to see from 100 Thieves, Kenvy. Can he step up? Can he be the player? That Kindred, the champ he first made a name for himself on with that pentakill in amateur. He is 2-1-7, 100% KP, leading his team to victory, just like the way Armeo did for Team Liquid in the last one. 100 Thieves Academy style. A little bit stoppier, some more fights, but hey, they're the ones coming out on top as that clean wipe. It's given them control over this game.
And Wixie has so much gold. He's 2,000 gold up on Yon this time around. We saw how well he played that last fight. He's been playing these fights rather well. He just hasn't been doing it from advantage most of the time. Now, for the first time this series, he is in absolute control of his own destiny. He quickly became the main character, just like we saw in Game 2.
100 Thieves Academy now have the steps necessary to start riding out this mid-game. We're getting ready for a third dragon in the game. Remember, 100 Thieves have been the one that have secured the first two, and now we look at the implications of those two dragons in the wake of a full 5-man ace.
Hold
on, Wixie, you gotta be careful though. Oh no, the Hextech ultimatum is still available. Wixie trying to save it. 10 United, but it's not enough. The true damage cuts all through it. A shutdown for Bradley. Now Busio the one is on the run because 10 United is already burned. Gamsu cannot come and save it, but Busio managing to stay alive.
That's still a turret.
It's huge from Team Liquid. I mean, they needed a comeback play. They needed to find a way to get back, and it is these solo laners syncing up in the same side lane. They prey on Wixie showing when no one else from Team Liquid was. They're going to pick up a big shutdown, an objective bounty after. Feeling like a back and forth game 4 we have on our hands here, gents.
Yeah, we're back down to only a 3K gold lead as it's going to continue shrinking as this first objective bounty goes down. Gamsu is not strong to yet take down the bottom lane inner, and Yon defends the mid lane.
And that is one thing that Team Liquid can prey on in this comp. Yes, you have the Shen, the shield, the power that can go on a marksman in Wixie, but the only real peel tool that you have is going to be that Mam's Respite. There's no Tom Kench to save him. Team Liquid have all the ways to find angles with the Camille, with the Ahri. This is something that our rookie marksman Wixie, it's going to be tough for him to deal with in this game. We'll have to see if he's up to the task.
There's a second Rift Herald on the line here, but 100 Thieves, they know they can't contest it. They're going to cede it over.
And we've seen a lot of this, right? Team Liquid consistently getting all of these heralds. You said 82% at the beginning of the series. But now, as they go for it, Kenvy actually looking to smite it away.
And that did a reset, so he's going to steal it. Nice, 100 Thieves, good play for them. They can use that to take down another turret, and I think as we shift into the mid-game, we talked about Team Liquid's explosive mid-game. They're so good at finding priority, push, and then snowballing that into sides. I think this game's all about Harry and Bradley. These two solo laners, they have the abilities to find flanks, find angles onto 100 Thieves. And if they're able to shut down Wixie, if they're able to shut down Kenvy, that can be what makes this a 4-game series for Team Liquid and can get them the amulets at the end of this one.
And Bradley as well, he's also gotten the bottom lane turret. He's getting stronger. This Camille scales so incredibly well. You said there's a big dive body system that they can go for. He can also just prevent Kamsu from using the Stand United. He can look to take these turrets, and if you leave him alone in a side lane for even a wave, he can take an entire turret.
It's going to be a long one, gents. I can feel it already. 5-9. This game no longer the 20-0 shutout that we just saw in Game 3. This time around, Team Liquid have to fight back against the resurging 100 Thieves.
And they have a chance to do so at the Cloud Dragon. We have Cloud Soul on the Rift. What we're really looking out for, can Harry and Bradley find the angles, find the picks as Jimmy in.
That's a lot of damage, bro.
Nice chunk. Harry, he will be able to reset, should be able to get on the map in time for this Dragon as both him and Bradley are coming out of base. We'll see if Team Liquid can get around 100 Thieves. I think that finding picks onto Wixie Kenvi, that is necessary, that is needed for them to have any chance at winning this fight. It's going to be all about the non-committal engage from Ari, syncing that up with the rest of the team to make that happen for TL.
Yeah, his teleport's coming up right now. We see some good potential flank wards that Team Liquid have already set up. They can get there first. As the teleport comes through for Jimmy, and he doesn't have it just quite yet, but he has some deep wards of his own that he can go to.
That would be a really insane flank to go for, but you have to make sure that the fight can be stalled out long enough, and Bradley is lying in wait. Fog of War would show. Teleport from Gamsu early. He still has Stand United in case he needs it. Good charm. Everfrost roots him for about 1/3 of his HP, but the Rift Herald will make the crash. Not necessarily sure if it's going to take out the turret outright, but now it gives them mid-priority as they walk towards the Dragon Pit.
Yeah,
Bradley's still not spotted. He is still not spotted. He has a god angle as Gamsu. They're telling him, Kams, right now, you have to find the Camille. They do spot him. Really good mark from Gamsu.
Kenvi is about half HP. They pop the blast cone. They're going to turn right onto Bradley. They interrupt the hook shot. It does not connect. That's a 5-on-4 fight now for 100 Thieves Academy. They have the advantageous position onto this Dragon. They can secure it. And if they want to look for the fight, but Team Liquid already cede control.
And again, it's Busio. I mean, Ayla, again, the #1 prospect we probably have in Academy when it comes to playing at the next level. But Busio, he's been the one stepping up huge. The minute they spot Bradley, he's the one proactively flashing forward, getting the advantage for 100 Thieves. They're looking to push it.
They just popped Jan's ultimate here, forcing him to use the terrain scaling to get over the wall. And now his ultimate might just time out before 100 Thieves look for another fight.
Team Liquid are still looking for a way to come back in, and that Dragon going down was one of their major windows. It's gonna have to be another opportunity from Harry and Bradley later at the next Dragon. We got 4 minutes, but before that, we are 1 minute away from the Baron, and the 100 Thieves roster kills it so quickly.
Kraken Slayer on Kenvi's Kindred. Yes, you can melt that objective. Yes, we saw them utilize that in past series, but
good flash
at the moment. Yeah, I like that. Really respectful from Gamsu. And again, this feels like the game plan for Team Liquid. Playing through these two solo laners, trying to stack them in the same side lane to punish 100 Thieves. That, and then also finding the flanks if we get in the grouped up scenario again.
But look at the way that 100 Thieves have been able to thwart that so far. Yes, there's been a couple of times where Bradley and Harry got the pick onto Wixie, but in that past fight, 100 Thieves remembering to group up and make sure that they are sticking together, protecting that fortress backline of Wixie and Kenvi. And when they move as 5, they're able to catch out stragglers from Team Liquid looking for those flanks.
They're looking for stragglers right now. If Bradley and Harry are Team Liquid's win condition, Kenvi is looking to cut them off at the heel. But Bradley smartly not walking up, knowing they don't have any control of the top side of the map. He was looking for a big flank earlier. Now, again, a very respectful play from both top laners.
And this is a big gold lead for 100 Thieves. I know, we talk about how can Team Liquid get back in this one. Some of the plays, the angles we think they could go for. When you're staring at a 3.5K gold deficit, especially at this point of the game where Gamsu is still very powerful on the Shen. Jimmy ahead of the power curve, a little bit onto LeBlanc. We know how hard she can spike when she wraps up what we assume is going to be a cosmic drive. This is a tall task for Team Liquid. And again, they are the final raid boss that we have in PG. They were the ones waiting to see who would make it through the gauntlet to challenge them. And we'll see if they are up to taking on that challenge in this Game 4.
The big question once again, after Game 3, to face such a dominant shutout from Team Liquid, 20 kills to 0, to now bounce back like this, to all in on a composition style like this. And now Kenvi is looking for the play in a flank. Harry's gonna just immediately force the Spirit Brush. We're looking on the top side of the map. Armeo trying to answer back, but Jimmy is just fine.
You can take a deep breath, Rafa. We got no engages, just, playing around inside. No objectives yet.
No Spirit Rush available this time around. Dodging out on the charm. Kenvi still pressuring forward.
Oh my.
Can he actually kill him here? The flash immediately,
No
he's
way.
going forward.
No
Kenvi
way.
still has Lamb's Respite here. Everfrost forcing the Lamb's Respite out, but he's continuing to chase for it. He's got to be careful. Stand United. Harry will be able to outplay the attempt from 100 Thieves, and now they have a numbers advantage here, but Bradley going a little too far forward. It gets traded right on back. 100 Thieves now a 4 on 4, but it's actually 3 on 3 right now. Armeo is going to have the flank angle, trying to cut off Wixie. Ayla flashing for a solar flare, but instant cleanse from Wixie keeps himself alive, and no one can touch him, but Jan is flashing forward. He wants to be able to lock Wixie down, and Team Liquid Academy find the advantage.
What a crazy play. Just everything going slightly wrong in different spots, right? Kenvi taking the one turret shot, not getting under, means that this turret is going to go down, and that opens up a world of possibilities for Harry and Bradley.
It just seemed like an unnecessary force out of the side of 100 Thieves.
Very Kenvi force.
You can wait for that dragon to spawn, find fights there, but Kenvi, he wanted the pick, he wanted the skirmish, he wanted to take down Harry, who's looking to take down his first Proving Grounds championship. Could not find it there. Harry punishes, and Team Liquid bounce back.
But this is what happens when you start getting super far ahead, right? You start to feel yourself, and Kenvi is so close to taking this down. And as the Stand United comes through, it's just Kenvi walking right on back. He was so close to surviving.
Yeah.
And, you know, it ends up being pretty crazy, but we get to see inklings of what we saw in Game 2. Both these teams are so good at skirmishing, and 1-for-1s are good for Team Liquid.
God, I just cannot fathom what the comms are like, what the mental composure is like. Ayla Hex Flash instantly on to Kenvi. They know he doesn't have Lance Respite, but where's the damage follow-up from Bradley? He goes in, hook shot. Where's the Hex ultimatum? Ayla's already been taken down, but it is a trade back over to Kenvi. Wixie has also been taken out. Team Liquid Academy, by marking out the 2 marksmen available, 100 Thieves no longer have the consistent damage. Jimmy is trying to get out of there, but the Hex ultimatum locks him out. The dragon will be secured, but the Baron could be the bigger prize.
Stand United was not up. Lamb's Respite was not up. Kenvi's play in the bottom lane is punished a second time.
It is important that Jimian traded himself out for Yon, because as you said, Baron's on the map. It is the bigger prize, but taking out that marksman ensures it's only a dragon going over to Team Liquid, not more, as Harry.
Death charge.
Has no
Fear
flash.
rush. Okay, they lock him down. No flash available. They're going to make a huge punish. And yes, they're 2 takey champions, but they still have enough base damage to take out Harry, I presume.
Ayla.
But Ayla interrupting it. Gomsu, does he have enough? Finally finds the dash forward with the taunt. Takes him out, but now the reinforcement is coming in from Team Liquid Academy. You got to run as Busio and Gomsu. You have to be willing to just part with any sacrifices that you need. But a teleport is coming right on back. It would be Jimian into a 3-on-3. Jan is also following up forward. You have to buy time for 100 Thieves. Wixie's on the way. Kenvi's on the way. Based on how this plays out, they've locked down Jan, but Jan is still undeterred, and Kenvi going for it. Bouncing Dread, can he get it? The Lance Respite is available. Watch for how well he is able to use it to keep himself alive. They take on Armeo. He still has to use Lance Respite. It's still on the table for him, and Jan and Bradley, the only members left to fight against 100 Thieves.
This game has gone haywire as these 2 teams are trying to throw punches, trying to catch each other out with these big ultimates being down on the side of 100 Thieves. Team Liquid, they were able to make it work the first time. The second time, a little bit of an overextension, and 100 Thieves at least able to get some gold back in their pockets.
And now, as we see such a small gold lead, I mean, it's shrunk effectively from where it was before, and as the game gets later, we like what Team Liquid can do.
Yes.
Bradley and Harry, this is the first time they've gotten caught out in really bad ways. Harry, he's going to have the Spirit Rush next time they try and go for that play.
It's just such a surprising blitz maneuver from 100 Thieves, but I think time and time again...
Wait, watch Baron, watch Baron, watch Baron.
Oh, they're going to
this last
go for
game.
it. Wixie is spotted on the control ward, and he autos it, so they know. Team Liquid have to book it right now.
Bradley has TP up shortly. He is still sprinting up, and now he has to walk up. Team Liquid have no control of this area. They
barely get down.
It's a Kraken Slayer.
3,000. Yeah, Armeo cannot get there in time. Wixie secures it. Do they want to turn around? How badly do you want to fight this? Ayla, no engage available. They popped up Harry, and Wixie will rip right through Team Liquid.
The dredge line from Busio against the wall. He steps up again, takes down Harry as 100 Thieves looking to push us to a Game 5.
Team Liquid are in total shambles right now. 5,000 gold lead. They have lost another Baron as Armeo tries to escape, but Jimian, he's going to catch one of them.
They're keeping them in line. Bradley still has flash available, has the hook shot, but gets interrupted.
Beautiful.
Might have to use the flash using the Hexa Golden Main, but the Stand United is available.
Wixie got the solo kill.
Wixie just solo killed Yon in the mid lane. We talked about the power of youth for Wixie. Wixie and Boostio, the two Super Zoomers. We talked about how Wixie wanted to prove that we are not the same bot lane that you face in the round robin. We are coming with the force.
9-3 and 7. Wixie taking down one of the best AD carries we have seen in Academy. Kenvi continuing to control this game as Jimin and Gamsu. We keep talking about how Harry and Bradley are Team Liquid's ways back in, and Gamsu and Jimin are making sure they never have a chance.
Armeo, unfortunately
Rude.
that Gromp does not belong to you. This blue buff probably doesn't belong to you either.
Oh,
Kenvi, is this the overextension? He secures the blue buff.
He has an ult.
Lamb's Respite is available. Blast
Got a
over the
frag.
wall. Harry immediately popping the Lamb's Respite, has to buy time. Gamsu, if he can get a range, Super Mega Death Rocket coming in from through downtown. They take down Harry. It's a trade from to Kenvi, but Bradley is here. Boostio, it's not enough damage between him and Gamsu. Armeo and Bradley will be able to shred
There's
through it.
Wixie.
And
Waiting for
Boostio,
Wixie.
Wixie, can he get in line? Setting up the front line available. Cleansing, insta cleanse on the Solar Flare. Now Armeo has to run. You have Jimmy pushing onto the bottom line, so you cannot have Yon be able to fight back. Team Liquid have to flee, but 100 Thieves, they're still looking for a chase.
Shouldn't be able to catch up. They are so far away as the pillar comes through, making sure Boostio can't do anything.
Oh,
We
Yon?
almost saw Yon solo kill. He might.
Yeah,
he does.
okay, Yon gets the solo kill back onto Jimmy. This game is wild.
But it feels like 100 Thieves, they're the ones that keep on coming out on top. It's a 7K gold lead for them. Dragon Soul is up in a minute 10 as well, as I think they make the intelligent call. They reset. They keep this thing from going even more haywire, and we'll see if Team Liquid can find the pick, find the fight they found last time around this Dragon to continue to stall out this game.
I mean, Team Liquid, they also got Bradley caught, right? We saw how well 100 Thieves were able to react to Bradley's flank. They don't have the same control. They haven't been in this area for a solid several minutes, and Team Liquid, they need to start taking control very soon. They need to make sure they can prevent Jimmy from walking in, but he's got to teleport. He can be anywhere he wants on the map.
This is such an intense game 4, where we thought that off of the momentum that Team Liquid had established in
Near
game
perfect
3,
game.
they were literally about to just send it to secure the Proving Grounds title. But the way that 100 Thieves have bounced back, the fashion, maybe not necessarily the most consistent and clean thing, but it has been such a powerful reckoning that Team Liquid have had to respect.
And look at Team Liquid. They aren't even trying to contest the Cloud Soul. They are going to give it over to 100 Thieves as they're instead trying to get some more objective bounty gold in their pockets. Interesting decision from TL.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we keep talking about how you can give up some of these souls. The Cloud Soul isn't the most important thing, right? You know, move speed is always nice. You'd prefer to have it than not have it, but it gives Team Liquid some time to look for a potential Elder play later on. You cannot afford to lose the game. I like this choice.
Just trying to revamp yourself.
Yeah.
Get those stats back in for what the biggest fight would be around that Elder Dragon.
Yeah, buy more time for Bradley to potentially split push against Gamsu, right? Even though Bradley is still down, it still eventually gets better for Camille. Gamsu's done a fantastic job finding the CS, finding the kills.
It's still so tough, though, because the big difference this game, Wixie, look at the items on this Jinx, the big late game carry. And we did set up earlier. Wixie, he doesn't have the Tom Kench. He doesn't have that extra protection. Yes, he does have the Stand United. Yes, he does have the Lamb's Respite, but he doesn't have that get out of jail free card that the Tom Kench brings you. Going up against Bradley, Harry, the ability to find flanks, find angles. This is still a tall order for Wixie. He is so bad, but we will see if he is up to it.
Oh,
Hey,
Harry
Jimmy
wants to bait out something here. Jimmy and now realizing there are two other Team Liquid members,
on.
but
They're on the
100
wrong
Thieves,
side. Look at
if you
Kenvi.
mess with one thief, they will come in hordes, and they're the ones that are now looking to collapse onto
Harry,
Team
no
Liquid
ult.
Academy. Yon still not close enough. The depth charge onto Bradley gets knocked
Good
up
ult.
here. Can they follow it up with the damage? Wixie, watch for the damage if he can get affected in the back line, but he is ripping through the front line right now.
Yon!
But it's the members of 100 Thieves. Yon is the one that is tearing them up. Yon is the one that is pushing 100 Thieves back, and a huge pillar will stop 100 Thieves in their tracks. This Lamb's Respite could be huge to be able to
Wixie.
save it, but look at Team
Team
Liquid
Liquid.
Academy! They are the ones that run 100 Thieves down!
You cannot count out Yon on the Zeri, man. He has played this champion so well. He's continuing to win. He continues to play only in this Proving Grounds, and nobody can match him.
And this is Team Liquid. I mean, this was looking to be a 5v3, but somehow they were able to get regrouped as a team, and this ultimate from Ayla is huge. It enables them to regroup. Yawn is never touched as the depth charge was burned early, and he is the one that shreds the Thieves.
And the big thing is, when the Lamb's Respite comes down, it not only saves the side of 100 Thieves, but it also saves Team Liquid as the pillar catches Wixie. It catches him mid-flash.
And also, I mean, the Hextech ultimatum is left after. So that's the tool you can use to shut down the Jinx. Guarantee that you are able to clean up the rest of the fight as Team Liquid.
They're on Baron.
They're now
on Baron.
They are burning down the Baron so incredibly fast. Kenvi, he is nowhere near it.
Oh, Ayla on the
He's gonna
side.
have to try to get
He's
through
zoned out.
the
He's zoned
ASAP 2000 HP Superman Death Rocket. Armail's the one that secures it, and Team Liquid,
they go in.
can they find the fight?
Bradley's
100
dead.
Thieves, but they find Bradley. It's now 5 on 4.
Wait, the depth chart.
Team Liquid, you have to just flee the scene and save the Baron buff while you can.
They're just going in. At least mid-inner will fall. We'll see how much more 100 Thieves can get off the back of this.
Yeah, that's a big play coming through for Team Liquid. The Baron buff should stop a lot of play from 100 Thieves, but this is a potential dive. Watch what Boostio does.
100 Thieves, if they can find it, despite a Baron buff on Team Liquid's side, they're the ones that can still turn this fight around, but they're just going to take the inhibitor and leave.
That's got to be it. So, in big play for 100 Thieves, right? They got inhibitor, but it is still Baron on Team Liquid. They will not have it up for the Elder Dragon. That will expire 20 seconds before. But with the Baron power play, we will see how much they can get back from 100 Thieves as they still have objective bounties to farm. And if they take down an inhibitor or two, that could be what gives them map control to position around the Elder, as it feels like with the backs up against the wall, the Thieves, this game, it's going to come down to the Elder Dragon.
And I feel like we're seeing the side of Team Liquid. Bradley's gotten a little nervous, right? He's gone forward a couple times at this point, but the rest of Team Liquid are solid. They are standing up. They are grouping up in ways that are so hard to deal with. And now, they're the first ones here. Bradley, topside, and Jimmy in here yet.
Kenvi's got to be careful about where he checks brushes here. Team Liquid have their 2 main frontline members and have ways to stun them up with Solar Flare and a lot of other crowd control
see
lockdown.
Harry.
In this next fight, though, guys, watch for Wixie because his flash might not be up by the time Elder spawn.
And look at the inventory, 400 Thieves. Team Liquid, 3 stopwatches on the left side. They realize how important the Elder fight is, how important the next few minutes of the game are for themselves, as Team Liquid successfully has gotten themselves to the later stages where they have the solo lane scaling. The Camille, the Ahri has the potential to take down Wixie, who is fed out of his mind still. I think Wixie will finish Guardian Angel before the Elder fight breaks out. That's going to be very important. But we will see if they're able to execute a fight clean enough to get on top of Wixie, remove him from the fight, and win from there.
One of the important things we have to pay attention to now that we are later in the game is inventory space is coming at a premium. We were looking at Bradley, we were looking at Harry, looking for these opportunities to find flanks, and they had a lot of wards the 100 Thieves could play with, but the flanks are so valuable from the Camille, from the Ahri, and the LeBlanc as well.
Yeah, absolutely, but look at all the control 100 Thieves has over the bot side of Team Liquid's jungle. They are the ones that have the wards sitting in that area. They're the ones that have the waves crashing on the bot side of the map. And if they are able to continue to push those waves past the mid portion of the map, they will not be vulnerable to TP flanks, 2 big flanks from the Ahri or the Camille. So 100 Thieves, I think they're playing this out rather well at the start of the setup. But we'll see how much Team Liquid can get back as they have regrouped and redeployed in the mid lane.
Jimmyan setting up the bottom wave push. 100 Thieves ready to answer mid. 3 on 4 right now. Bradley is making the early rotation on over, though. Watch for the pillar. Wixie's got to be careful on the distance here. Jimmyan looking for the flank onto Harry, but the root goes wide. Charm also goes wide as well. 100 Thieves buying space.
Gamsu free to re-establish priority up in the top side. It's going to be a long time before he impacts a turret, but he is slowly farming where Bradley isn't, and as we set up, Bradley has to go right on in.
Elder has spawned, guys. This is it. Whew. This fight could be match point for Team Liquid or Game 5 off of the back of 100 Thieves, making a miraculous turnaround. Elder Dragon has been started.
Bradley's done a good job of at least buying space, trying to threaten angles. You can see how Jimmyan is still marking him. Gamsu will not join this fight until his ultimate is needed.
And there's 2 waves of pressure coming in from 100 Thieves. Top lane is Gamsu, but he's teleporting. Where's he going?
Oh, where is he?
Oh, just right in the middle.
Just right in the middle. There's nothing that Team Liquid can really do to punish it. Bradley's the one. Bradley is teleporting in. No creative flanks this time around. It's just going to be a straight up front to back fight unless Jimmy can find the flank. Poking his head onto Yon. The root comes out. No follow-up.
And
Bradley. Yeah, Boostio's marking Bradley, making sure that he can protect his back. Like they turn their tail right onto Bradley. If they burn him down, that's a huge advantage. But it's a GA resurrection now. Look at Wixie. Wixie is separated from Boostio and Kenvi, so they have to realign. But look at the damage coming
it's again the mark from Busio. Yesterday, he was the one with the big flank in game 2 that got 100 Thieves that second game. This time around, it's him finding the flank, discovering it, having the proactive play to shut him down as the Thieves group around that, win the fight 4-for-1, and will take this Elder.
The Elder is going to be going down. The game might be ending as well. How do you defend against this when you have 4 members?
We're going to
this
5.
is the 5th game coming through. We are going to see yet again these two teams always go to our game 5.
100 Thieves through thick and thin, through some of the most dominating games that Team Liquid have shown us. Can they respawn in time? But the Elder Dragon buff is too powerful. 100 Thieves through all the odds are going the full distance. They have to go back and take an inhibitor. Wait a minute, Jan has spawned back. Harry spawned back, but with the Elder Dragon, I imagine, hold up, it is very low. Health bars on the 100 Thieves side. Jan popping the stasis. The choppers are there. They should be able to claim it out. 2 members have gone. Hold up, Harry, can he clean this up? Can he save this game? GA from them. All right, 100 Thieves giving us a little bit of a spook, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game 5.
Oh my God, you guys. I thought this was going to be a clean game. I thought Team Liquid were ready to pack us home, and now 100 Thieves, they aren't playing the same clean way that Team Liquid do, but they are scrapping. They're taking some of our best teams to 5v5s and winning them.
And what a game from the rookie bot lane of 100 Thieves. Wixie, he was the one that got ahead early. He was the one that was able to survive the Ahri, survive the Camille, but also Busio, the plays this guy found, the plays this guy made. This is his first split on the Academy stage, his second year playing support, and he is the reason that this team is going to a game 5 in the grand finals.
When you look back at his career, starting as a mid laner, most recent team Polarace, and then role swapping to 100 Thieves next, that amateur team had went through so many problems in the spring, but one of the big things that kept them alive despite not making Proving Grounds was that bot lane. Busio and Instinct together, and you can see how much progression that they have made through thick and thin, the absolute determination to push forward in the wake of looking at what Core JJ said, the second best support in LCS.
And I feel like it's a story of the mid swaps to different lanes, right? We see Bradley going top and we see Busio going support, and right now Busio's winning that. He's marking Bradley every time.
I do have to say, I mean, going into this game 5, it feels like Team Liquid are still the ones that are ahead in the series. The 2 games they have won have been unreal from them. Even in that game, the bounce back they had in the bot lane, the fact that they did show that they can hold strong, we'll have to see if they have that endurance for a game 5, because against all odds, I really thought this would be an early day, early finish for us, but 100 Thieves have pushed us to that 5th game, and we'll have to see if they can upset Team Liquid in our grand finals.
But before we get to that, we have a word from Gamsu, and then we'll be heading over to the desk after Powered by Verizon.
This year's Team Liquid is stronger because last year they didn't have Jenkins and Armel at the time, but now they have Armel and they got new top laner Bradley, so I think they are stronger. But I also think our new 100 Thieves is as strong as last year.
History repeats itself, yet it is the change for 100 Thieves Academy that gets them to Game 5 as we are preparing for another one. And off of the performance from the rookies, Busio at the very end there, finding that mark on Bradley, them absolutely sweeping the fight and closing out the game from there. What a comeback from the Thieves right now. This performance has been incredible to see.
It absolutely is, and the fights were going back and forth. It was absolutely crazy. They didn't even get to end when they wanted to. It went to the inhib.
They had to get the inhib. It was like, wait, is Wixie dead?
All the stress in there for game number 4 to crest into game number 5. But we were talking about that stress and you know, first times on stage and playing these kinds of games. And I want to go back to that conversation because now we're at the point where everything that happened before this doesn't matter. It's a best of 1 between both these 2 teams, Diamond.
Yeah, it's a best of 1 that after 4 games. So like from now, like it's kind of late in the day, you know. So like even if it's a best of 1 in your head, like everyone's like down, like caffeine down, like everyone's just like crushing, you know. So game 5 usually is like kind of a fiesta, you know. Like it depends on how it goes. It's like one of the game mistakes, and then like it all swings the game, you know.
But you specifically said after that last game, 100 Thieves Academy were one turret away from getting perfect gamed, and you were looking at it from the perspective of rookies, how tough it is to bounce back mentally. We're looking at them on screen right now. What a bounce back, Diamond. Talk to me as like a player when you're in these kind of stressful situations, especially as a rookie, to reset that mental and say, no, we just got to keep performing.
Yeah, you gotta eat the bananas and try to go next time.
Get that potassium. The brain food.
Wait, where are the finger workouts this time?
Oh, I'm sure that they're doing that too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Between bananas, like they're just chugging out bananas and you know how it goes.
But Magical, I want to make sure that we're remembering the history of these teams because it went to 5 games last summer. It was a reverse sweep from 100 Thieves that got them the win. This time, it's still 2-2 on the scoreboard. And just the legacy, it's crazy how close it's been. And Kelsey, our producer, was actually chatting with us. They're using a strategy that the main team used in LCS in their grand finals against Team Liquid with the Shen LeBlanc combo.
Yeah, and that hadn't been really touched in ages beforehand
Right?
either. So it was the first time we really got to see it then, and this is the first time we get to see it now. Shen, he hasn't really been that useful for quite some time, but Gamsu is this player who's more than comfortable playing champions. Think back to the Sejuani that he played top lane last year in the Proving Grounds when people weren't really ready for it. Obviously there are players like Alorum who can still play it now, but there's these unique champions that you can pull out of nowhere and say, hey, you're not really accustomed to playing against this. We can catch you off guard, and this is what we wanted to see from 100 Thieves. We wanted to see him bring a different strategy going into this game 4. Me and Diamond weren't too thrilled to see him on right side again, but at least they changed what they were going to do in this game with their composition.
Yeah, I think one thing, right, we've talked a lot about stress and environmental effects and things like that, but all in all, this is a continuation of an incredible story. We're getting another Game 5 in the Proving Grounds finals. You can't write this better, I feel like. It's been incredible. It's these two organizations again going at it.
And now I know Spawn, he was freaking out all week, just kept tweeting, Gamsu's coming for us, Gamsu's coming for us, Gamsu's coming for us. And if you didn't understand the context of those tweets, I think you're starting to understand now, because that Shen was incredible. And going back to the draft as well, Kenvi on the Kindred, it feels like 100 Thieves Academy, their strategy right now is just get back into comfort, get back into what works for us and what we know we can actually play. And now it's up to Team Liquid Academy. I know that Cubby was saying that he still feels like they're kind of ahead in this series, if we put it that way, based on how their wins have looked compared to 100 Thieves wins. But it feels like Team Liquid Academy are now the team that needs the answer to what 100 Thieves are drafting. And Diamond, again, I want to hear from you as a player, kind of what you expect the next step to be for Team Liquid Academy here.
I think they're trying to kind of flex like the whole series. They're playing like all these push comps. I think like if they just play some like Unga Bunga champs and then just like run down a bit, press R, I think they probably will win. But I mean,
True.
If there's a time to stop flexing, it would be now on Game 5. So in my opinion, that's what they should do.
Okay, I do want to go back. Okay, you said Unga Bunga champs. Is Camille one of those?
A little bit, but not as much. Like you need some Nolus. You need like big beefy boys in the mid lane and Senate.
Because that was a big question mark, is Bradley's performance on this champion. Magical, we were talking about it. We've seen Bradley play this before. We've seen Bradley have these performances. And a reminder, Bradley role swapped from mid lane to top lane. He's coming in from collegiate in his rookie split. And this is actually his first time ever playing on LCS stage. How much do we think that factors into that performance?
I think that's a big deal. I think that's something that a lot of people don't really take credit for. Is rookie split, right? Yeah. It's a new team that he's been playing for. Even though he's gotten more accustomed to how the team itself will be, he's now got a lot of pressure onto him. It is Game 4. That was the winning point at that moment. If they win that, they get the title. They take that away from 100 Thieves. There's so much pressure put onto this rookie to really succeed. And I feel like even though we've seen him really power through everyone on Camille in the past, we've seen a lot more from the Gangplank recently. That's the champion it feels like he's the most comfortable on as of now, but nobody's going to let that go through to him, especially with what we've already seen from today. So I'm looking at this matchup, and I'm looking at how Bradley can get his nerves calmed down. Coach Spawn really has to have that conversation with him to bring him back down to reality.
And this is where I feel like this is an entire split's worth of work coming down to one game and one best of 5 all in actuality. And I think it's about honing those benefits you've been able to accrue over the year and especially the growth you've seen. So I guess from a perspective of a player, especially if you were in this kind of situation and having this game go the distance like this, what would you be telling your bot lane if they're getting a little bit hyphy or going into game number 5? What would be your
What's Golden Glue saying right now as they're huddling?
What do they got?
I mean, I had like a one of the huddles that I used to have with Grayson with Golden Glue is like we called our academy team the Rats because we're just fight because we get the scraps from the main team. So like we just call ourselves the Rats. And I remember Keith and Golden Glue, so talking like one of the huddles and before our actual important match. It's like, guys, Rats are not very smart, but we know how to fight. And then they're just like, see you 9 on 3. It's like that was one of the. I would assume it's something related like that for Golden Glue for sure.
I like
Keep
it.
fighting, keep it scrappy, right? 401 games of League of Legends have been played across the Proving Grounds qualifiers, Academy regular season, Proving Grounds. One more game to close out the entire season, and you know what that means. We got to send it back over to the casters for a special performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have had 401 games played throughout Proving Grounds, and we are going to our final Game 5. And so for a special treat, ladies and gentlemen, Silver Scrapes.